Hello, friends. I'm back. It's been I guess technically a week away from the podcast. You are listening to the JRPG Report. This is episode 164. Okay, at least a new podcast, as I hope you enjoyed myself and Dalton's conversation on the state of PCs. More recent involvement into JRPGs, and even the idea of some like Edge of Eternity coming out on PC first and then finally making its way to consoles. So we had a fun time recording that. Hope you enjoyed it. But we are back with a slew of stories to talk about, kind of catch up on the past 2 weeks worth of information. Some stuff you probably have already been made aware of, but some of it maybe you haven't. But again, thank you so much for coming back to us each and every week for your news updates. So let's get into the stories that I thought were pretty interesting. We got the third official trailer, and a game that has quickly rose up my radar. That is Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. And so this was the third trailer. We've had two before that definitely got me piqued my interest. This is when I was coming to the Switch and PC this summer. It looks gorgeous. I really like the animation style, but in particular, this trailer now has my full attention, and it's because I was honestly quite shocked to learn that this is a turn-based battle system, guys. Of course, the Monster Hunter series is more of an action RPG, has been for a long time. But with this one, maybe it wasn't the first one as well, and I didn't realize this. It is turn-based. So let's talk about the latest trailer that was coming out that we've got an official release. So I'll read that to you guys. They say, in the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, fans were treated to more high-quality visuals of the incredible Monstie companions. Competing factions, and an epic story in the game. After assuming the role of the young monster rider who can use a kinship stone to form strong bonds with monsters, players will encounter Lila and Roberto, who will return from the original Monster Hunter stories. The duo are on a mission to capture your young companion Raisewing Ratha before it can awaken its destructive power, foretold in the prophecy of the Wings of Ruin, hence the title. Hot on their heels are a group of hunters and riders who seek to capture the Raisewing Ratha for their own nefarious purposes. More details on how these returning characters interact with the previously revealed cast and the player's journey to either save their friend or save the world will be revealed soon. Following the new trailer, the digital event provided first details on the strategic elements underpinning the turn-based combat in the game. While the three attack types of power, speed, and technical return from Monster Hunter Stories, aspiring monster riders must also master using the correct weapon type, element, and skills to overcome increasingly imposing threats. By learning the fighting style of the individual monsters, players can counter incoming attacks by selecting the correct attack type. Additionally, they can stop enemy monsters in their tracks by targeting and breaking specific body parts, as well as team up with their Monstie to perform powerful double attacks. Riders can also join forces with their monsters and other battle buddy characters to unleash devastating kinship attacks that can change the flow of battle. So there you go. Like I said, I was piqued in my interest for this one anyway, and as I've publicly stated time and time again, if you give me a turn-based battle system, you got my interest. And we can go one of two ways after that, but that is a sure sign to get me to at least want to check out your title. No matter really what the quality of it is, I'm willing to put up with a lot of things if I can be turn-based in my battles. This one, I really think it looks amazing for a Switch. I would have to at least wonder in the footage shown if this is PC footage or if it's Switch footage. We obviously know the differences in the capabilities of those two pieces of equipment. So I would be interested to see exactly how good it does look on Switch, which is what I would be playing on. But when games are developed specifically for it, kind of like this one, they do tend to look pretty decent. Monster Hunter Stories Wings of Ruin, or I'm sorry, Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, is due out for Switch and PC via Steam on July 9th. If you'd like to look at the said trailer that I've been kind of talking about, well, you guys know where to head. That is over to our YouTube channel and just search for it if it's not somewhere near the top. There's obviously a bunch of trailers that we will talk about today, and you will be able to find them all over there. One of, if not the biggest upcoming JRPG coming soon is going to be Bandai Namco's action JRPG Scarlet Nexus, and we've got a couple of videos to kind of point your way if you head over to our YouTube channel. Just released moments ago, the opening animation was released for the game, and it features the song Dream in Drive by the Japanese rock band The Oral Cigarettes. The animation was done by Sunrise. I really dig this trailer. The animation is gorgeous, and the Japanese rock band is just really fun and a cool backdrop to this game. That one, like I said, that one just came out today. It's obviously pretty cool. But two other videos I want to kind of show you, head your way. They released an environment highlight gameplay video, which introduces the world's various locations. And then there was two short ones that I kind of combined into one. The first one was with Yuto, and it was in a hospital environment. This is kind of their battle highlight videos. The next one focused more on Kasane, and it was in a museum setting. So they were both a little short, I think around a minute long, so I kind of combined them into two and put those over on the YouTube channel. They say Yuto uses his clairvoyance ability to detect the enemy's abilities, as well as borrows pyrokinesis from Hanabi to deal more damage to the oil-secreting monstrosity called the Slippy Chinnery. Quite a name, though. Kasane, on the other hand, uses her telekinetic abilities to utilize the elements around her and overcome the others in her past. Of course, this game has the dual protagonist storylines, and I've kind of often wondered when commenting about this video if this is going to be, is this more like, let's say, Resident Evil 2, where you have two protagonists kind of going along, their stories kind of intertwine, but it's one story that plays out, and then it's another story that plays out. You basically have two playthroughs experiencing different, completely different locations, some overlap, or is this going to be more of, you choose your side, and that's the one that ends up you get to experience, but in the end, they all come together to form, and then there's a shared ending type of experience. I'm curious how that's going to work out. Or is this like an opposing faction to where, one side or the other is going to win out, and you choose, obviously, whoever one you choose would be the one to win. I'm very curious about this game. There was some comments in terms of like, they do a lot of, your companions speak a lot. So hopefully there's an ability to kind of turn that down or even maybe turn off altogether. There are some strong similarities between this one and the upcoming Tales of Arise. Obviously, they're both Bandai Namco, and they're more on the heavy action side of the JRPG scale. But I think the game looks incredible. I'm really kind of looking forward to it. As I've said before, I would need a PS5, I think, to really enjoy this one to its full capabilities. But people are pretty excited about it. I feel like this one kind of, stayed under the radar just a little bit. And as we've gotten much, much closer to it, we are, in fact, the hype is building, as they say, as we get closer and closer to its release. It's, of course, June 24th in Japan, and then the next day, June 25th, worldwide, coming out for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam on the 25th of June worldwide. If you've not already done so, don't forget you can follow us, all these stories that we talk about on our social media channels, either on Facebook or Twitter under JRPG Report. And if you haven't yet, I would really love your subscription on YouTube. I think at last count we're at 920. So if you didn't already know, I've got the required amount of hours viewed, but you need 1,000 subscribers in order to reach YouTube's monetization levels. And I'd love to get a few pennies each month from YouTube. That would be awesome. So the way you can do that is hitting the like and subscribe. Or if you'd like to do so directly, you can follow the links in the episode. We take financial support either via Anchor. You can do so just directly through PayPal. Just send it to James Fisher Productions, FISHER, @gmail.com. Or we even have our Patreon page. So if you'll search for JRPG Report, there's different levels of support you can give there. I would greatly appreciate it. Our next story, let's just say, okay, so we all know the next Legend of Heroes, Hajimari no Kiseki, been out in Japan. It actually released August 27th of 2020. And while we still have no information about the Western release for this game, nor even confirmation from NIS America that it's in fact coming, the next step could be the fact that Clouded Leopard Entertainment, who handles the other Asian releases of this one, NIS America gets the Western releases for this one. Falcom does in Japan, and then Clouded Leopard Entertainment does. So you like China and the other Asian countries, Korea, all that area. Well, they have announced that the Switch and PC versions of Hajimari will launch on August the 26th in Japan and the Asian areas. Clouded Leopard Entertainment announced. So that's almost exactly, it was one day off of being a full year behind. Like with the other titles here in the West, we've seen about a 5 to 6 month delay. This is a full year. So all that being said, the big news, which you really want to hear, and I can't tell you anything about, is when this game is finally coming to the West. Obviously, this is a good thing that this is coming out to maybe put some more pressure on NIS America to say, oh yeah, by the way, we are working on this game and it's coming. You guys know as soon as I hear that information, it's going to come your way. It, of course, does give anyone out there more time to catch up to this 10th installment in this Legend of Heroes timeline. They are lengthy games, but I would absolutely recommend you playing the 4 that are readily available on Steam. Well, you can get them all on Steam, but for PlayStation and Switch, which are the Cold Steel titles. The other ones would help in your experience for sure, but not everybody has the ability to play them all. Maybe just a modern console, so that's the way I'd recommend. But yeah, as soon as I hear something, I'll let you know. What I'm kind of hoping is if we haven't by then, we will hear something at E3 2021, which is going on June the 12th through the 15th as a digital-only event. I don't have confirmation that NIS America is going to be there. The ones we do have confirmation for are Bandai Namco. Let's see, I'm reading through these for ones that appeal more to us. Perhaps Sega, Square Enix, Xseed Games. So that joins Capcom, Konami, Nintendo, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Brothers. You've got Gearbox, Freedom Games. There's a whole list of exhibitors that is going to be there, and being digital only. There'll be lots of trailers and interviews and all kinds of fun stuff for us to dissect. But yeah, that would be a pretty good opportunity for an announcement of that kind, and I'm sure plenty of other ones. Speaking of giant video game festivals, we had previously reported that Gamescom 2021 was going to be a, quote, hybrid event with, I would say, most events going on digitally, but there were going to be some hands-on, actual convention ideas going on. That is not going to happen. It is going to be digital only. The organizers announced recently. This is going on for I guess it's 3 days. It's August the 25th, 26th, and 27th. They say, well, you can already guess it why. They just said, considering too many companies are unable to participate in physical events this year due to the still difficult environment. I know our friend Hans, who's over in that neck of the woods, he displayed some great dismay at that idea. I did reach out to him to see how that situation was over there, kind of on the ground, but I haven't heard anything back. So Hans, if you're hearing this, maybe chime in, let us know how things are going. It's certainly dismaying. It's predictable and understandable. There's still, this is a worldwide thing, so some things may be affecting others more than they are perhaps here. Like here in the U.S., things certainly seem to be on the upswing, and vaccinations are going well. But, if you're going to have a giant worldwide event like this, you kind of need everybody on board, and they just decided we're just going to go on the old digital format, which is sad, but it is necessary kind of thing. I've got a release date for you guys, and if you've been looking forward to playing the Preeny Presents NIS Classics Volume 1, you don't have too much longer to wait. I guess a few more months. I guess it is a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, it will launch for the Switch on August the 31st in North America, September 3rd in Europe, and September 10th in the Oceania countries. If you just want to get it by itself, Soul Nomad and the World Eaters will launch on PC via Steam August the 31st. Worldwide publisher NIS America. So, of course, this First Classics Volume 1 collection has Phantom Brave, the Hermeta Triangle remastered, and the aforementioned Soul Nomad and the World Eaters. That's pretty cool stuff. There was a Spotlight trailer that NIS America released for Soul Nomad. If you want to check that out, you can do so on our YouTube channel. I love that they are going back and doing this. I guess these are going to be mostly PS2 games, maybe dive into some PS3s by the time the collection goes along. I don't see a price for that yet, but maybe they don't have prices for it just yet. Or let's see. I'll hit the old link and go over to the Steam page. Okay, so there's the old Phantom Brave on PC. It's only $5 normally, but that's going to be the PC version of the PS2 game. So you can get them a lot cheaper than they're going to come out in this re-release. That you know how these things go. That's the way. So if we've been talking about this off and on, the Xbox Game Pass. It certainly seems like it's a great value, and it has a decent amount of JRPGs on it. A new one coming is going to be the Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD Remaster. That's coming out on May the 13th. You can also pick up, it's available right now, Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's pretty cool. Now, the only downside to that is you get one, but you lose one. So if you've not already played this, you've got 9 days to play Final Fantasy 9, which is probably not enough time. Kind of stinks. It is leaving on that day. So I've never been a big fan of titles leaving these things. I'm assuming there's some sort of storage issue, or the limited amount of time leads to scarcity, which drives up interest. I don't know. It seems like if you're paying for this, you should have all the time in the world. It's kind of like if you were a PlayStation Plus subscriber and you didn't have access to all those free games, but they're only on there for a certain amount of time. Yeah, that would probably rub me the wrong way. I guess it's just one of those things. But overall, it does seem like a really cool service, a good value, and yeah, you get two great JRPGs coming at some point in time. I've been very, I've told you guys I'm playing through Tales of Berseria again. I mentioned before how much I really wanted to replay that game. Coming out in 2016, it had been a while. It was still half fresh on the memory, but one of the ones that at the top of my list of want to replay games. I don't usually do that. I usually play through a game once and then I'm done with it. So I've been enjoying my replay of that. Another one that keeps kind of popping up in my head that I want to replay is both 10 and 10-2. And partly because I keep seeing that really funny meme. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's the person lying, trying to go to sleep at night, and the brain talking to him. There's several variations of it, but the one is like, "Hey, do you know what Final Fantasy released 20 years ago?" And the person falling asleep was like, "Yeah, that was probably one of the Super Nintendo ones, right?" And the brain's like, "No, it's Final Fantasy X." That's crazy, right? I mean, Final Fantasy X came out 20 years ago on PS2. Yeah, well, we're getting old. And that's okay, because it was still a great game. And obviously, you can play that on nearly every system under the sun. It has been released, and I want to see how good it looks on my PS4. But that's another deep dive for another day. 2 pieces of Ni no Kuni news. The first one, there was a new trailer for the upcoming Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds mobile game. They call it a story trailer. But unless you speak Japanese, you're not going to know what story they're talking about. It does show a little bit more things that we haven't seen, including a human-looking character that, minus the ears, the cat ears, looks like an adult version of Evan from Ni no Kuni 2. It is strikingly similar to what you would imagine he would look like as an adult, but I wouldn't guess that he could be. That wouldn't make any sense. But anyway, the game is coming soon. Pre-registration is available in Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, as well as on the official website, I guess, for the other countries, perhaps. A release date has not been announced yet, but the App Store listing is saying June 30th release date for that. So we'll wait and see if that comes to pass or not. But if you're curious about this one, you can check out the trailer for it. The other bit of news, and this was rated by the ESRB. So that's actually how we found out about this, that Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom Prince's Edition is coming to the Switch. I don't think anybody knew this would happen. Obviously, well, thank you, Creative Cloud Update. That's great. The first one is available on Switch, so it kind of made sense this one was coming, but I was not aware this was in the works. So we're talking about, Ni no Kuni 2 came out 3 years ago, back in March of 2018. The Switch version is yet to be announced, but the ESRB is not going to be rating games that are not coming out. They don't really do that. So we've still not got any official trailer or announcement or anything like that. Maybe that's coming at E3 type of deal, or a Nintendo Direct. I guess maybe they may preempt that. But yeah, that's good news. Ni no Kuni 2, that's a love-hate relationship for me. I know a lot of you guys probably liked it, but I feel like I liked the first one too much, and the second one changed too much for me to fully fall in love with it like I did the first one. It certainly had its positive notes, but I feel like the negatives kind of dragged it down a little bit, and that's kind of sad. But it's coming to Switch. As soon as I hear an actual release date for it, I will let you know. This one was a first announcement that Spike Chunsoft has announced the 3D action RPG Made in Abyss Binary Star Falling into Darkness. That's quite a title. For PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC via Steam. It will launch both physically and digitally in North America, Europe, and Japan in 2022. This is based off the manga. Made in Abyss is a fantasy manga made by, here we go, Takahito Kushi. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. Published on webcomic Gamma since 2012. The unique juxtaposition of its gentle art style with a dark, brutal storyline captured the hearts of many fans. A TV anime version aired in 2017, followed by a compilation movie in 2019, and a completely new theatrical movie in January of 2020. A sequel to the anime series was also announced at that time, promising more. So this is the game based off of all of that. It is as I mentioned, a 3D action RPG. The player descends into the world of the abyss and grows through their experience in these depths. The player can relive the experience of the anime in story mode, as well as explore an original story supervised by the author. Fans are sure to enjoy the dark fantasy elements that remain true to the unique flavor of the original work. Many characters from Made in Abyss appear as well, and event scenes are fully voiced by the cast from the anime. I love it when they do that. It seems weird when they don't. Made in Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness original story takes place many days after Riko and Ridge depart for the Abyss. The world's sole remaining unconquered chasm, the Abyss, is a stage where many adventures are born. Is a stage where many adventures are born and disappear. So the story is to be told of the adventure of a nameless cave raider in the Abyss. A teaser website popped up for it with some first images as well. You can check out our social medias for the link to this story. Or if you are watching this on our weekly video podcast on YouTube, you are seeing those images right now, or maybe already seen them. So yeah, it's a cool idea. I'm not familiar with this series. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not huge into anime, so not surprising I wouldn't know about it. But if you are a fan of this one, you got a game coming out sometime in 2022. There was also a new trailer released for the upcoming game, The Wicked King and Noble Hero, called the Read Aloud trailer. Sadly, in Japanese, so don't have a clue what exactly is going on with it. It showed off some of the environments in the game. Again, the storybook, kind of children's looking book, looks fantastic. I'm very interested to get into this one. It's got a really cute turn-based battle system as well. As soon as we get some English trailers, I'd love to share those with you guys as well. And you can actually check out the social media, either on Twitter or Facebook. Check out the story. There's a bunch of information about this. If you'd like to read a little bit more into it, you can do so. I've missed this one at first. Story first popped a week ago. I'm going to get the trailer up on the YouTube here pretty soon. But coming out in just over a week from now is going to be Gen Conception. This will launch for PC and Switch for Switch and PC via Steam on May the 12th. Developer GenWave Studio announced this Switch version is newly announced. This is being called, quote, the social deduction fantasy thriller turn-based RPG. It looks pretty cool. It's got a very unique art style. Here's an overview of the game. It is a social deduction fantasy thriller turn-based JRPG. 8 playable characters' stories intertwine when 3 characters enter Final Lair, and 2 vanish without a trace. 1 returns back from Final Lair but claims not to remember what happened. Who do you trust? Who is telling the truth? And who is lying? Who is friend or foe? This story's development started back in July of 2019. It features strategic turn-based combat involving balance. Battles happen on the same field as movement, so no switching screens when combat starts. Kind of has that Chrono Trigger feel to it, where it's all right there and then it goes. Affliction and buff system, for example, players cannot run away if they have the stuck affliction. Double and triple gen techs allow party members to combine attacks with each other to form stronger attacks. Again, kind of an homage to Chrono Trigger. Kind of hard not to see the resemblance there. But here's where it's a little different. They say traps can be set in combat for strategic purposes, such as delaying an attack for later. I'm excited about this one, and I'm even more excited now that I know this is coming to the Switch, I may fire up the thing and see if it's on the eShop, and I'll report back to you guys next week and see how much it's going for. I really like it. May not be that great once we get into it, but certainly at first sight, it passes all the proper tests. You can check out our socials for this story. Gate of Nightmares had its first screenshots. This is Square Enix's new fantasy RPG made by the Fairy Tail creator Hiro Mashima. I think there wasn't many of them. And of course, if you're also listening to this on our video podcast, you are seeing those now. You don't have to be told this is by the Fairy Tail people. It is their art style through and through, and that's not a bad thing. This is no different than Toriyama being recognized for Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest, right? There's a style. It is popular and recognizable. This one is coming for iOS and Android. It's coming. We don't know when it is. I would say next year is probably the best you could really hope for it, but we'll keep you posted on how that one is turning out. Another one coming for your mobile devices that I'm sure you're thrilled to hear me talk about. It's called Mitra Sphere. This is from Crunchyroll Games and development in partnership with Development Bank of Innovation and Live Operations Manager Jet Synthesis. This is a cooperative fantasy RPG. This is coming to the West. It's been out since August of 2017 in Japan. It's been downloaded over 7 million times. So, we throw that term around of mobile trash, and maybe this is, maybe that isn't, but that's a lot of people to download something that isn't at least kind of decent. It's coming worldwide, and there is a huge list of countries that it's all going to. There was a opening trailer or pre-registration trailer, which is going on right now, that you can check out on our YouTube channel. So here is the key features. They say it's a cooperative multiplayer RPG. Interact and team up with players from across the world as you embark on your new path. Chat, create private rooms, and socialize with a variety of animated emotes and voiced lines to heighten the fun. The battle is in real time. Overcome difficult boss battles in real time with your friends and others. Coordinate your coordinate your raids, polish your tactics, and plan well. You can switch between 5 classes freely as you wish, including Guardian, Swordsman, Cleric, Archer, and Mage. You can fully customize your character with appearance from every piece of equipment to their voice, character outfits to what fits your current mood, and acquire fun costumes. This is turn-based, though. So the thing I kind of liken it to is like on Final Fantasy 3, say Final Fantasy 6, the proper name. You could play it with 2 people, even though it was turn-based. You could decide how many party members you want to control between the 4 on the screen. So like me and my brother would play, we'd each control 2 players. So this is kind of that idea. You've got a party, but you only control your character. I really like this kind of idea. Now, iOS and Android, okay. If you don't want to play mobile games, that's fine. You don't have to. There's millions of other people that do, and I like this idea. I'll probably check it out. There's no release date for it yet, and actually the iOS page was still not even active as of this came out yesterday, but I may give this a shot. We will see how bad it really is. Again, unless you know Japanese, you wouldn't know what's going on in this trailer, but there was it was over 5 minutes, trailer for Rune Factory 5. It was dubbed A Tour with Chief Livia, a 5-minute stroll through Rigbirth. This is from publisher Marvelous and developer Hakama. You're welcome to check it out on our YouTube channel, but you're probably not going to know what's going on. But if you're really looking for this game, you might want to check it out. Rune Factory 5 is due out for Switch on May 20th in Japan, and sometime this year in the West. I'm assuming once this comes out in Japan, we'll start hearing about it coming to the West. I think Marvelous usually works with NIS America, so that they would be doing the translation on that one, but we shall see here in the future. Got some numbers to throw your way. Some of the recent games that have come out. Well, this one's not. Has it not come out yet in the West? I don't know. Anyway, so Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, total digital sales and total shipments have surpassed 250,000. Oh yeah, okay. So it comes out May 25th in the West. So it's not even released in the West yet. So that's not bad for Japan only. That's pretty decent. We finally got the first numbers for Atelier Ryza 2. And that is at 360,000 worldwide. So the last number they had was 150,000 back on December 9th. So that would indicate about 200,000 have been sold, 210,000 since then in its Western release. So I would say that is a success as far as they are concerned. Typically you want to look for millions in sales, but this one's a little more niche, so it's not going to be quite that high. But that's some good numbers to say this. You would want your numbers to be somewhere around Monster Hunter Rise numbers, right? If you're development, you're shooting for this one. They have now surpassed 6 million units shipped worldwide since its March 26th release. Not bad. Considering it's only on the Switch, it's really not bad. That's a lot of units to ship out there. And 1.3 million units have been sold for Persona 5 Strikers. Now that's not bad at all. I don't know how many it was in Japan only. So since its Western release, it's bumped up quite a bit. As I talked about on this game or on this podcast, I quite enjoy this experience in this game. The story was great and worth every bit of any frustration I felt with the battle system. It was, a little too frantic for me. I had to put on easy mode, but a awesome experience that I highly would recommend anyone to play if they haven't already. Got two last stories to pass along to you guys. The first is a trailer that you would perhaps like to check out as well. It is from the upcoming turn-based RPG called Oddventure. We briefly talked about this a while ago when it first got kind of announced. This is from publisher Pineapple Works, developer Infamous Rabbit, and it draws heavily inspiration from Earthbound and Undertale. This is coming to Switch and PC via Steam in Q3 2022. You can check out a demo right now on Steam if you'd like to. And starting today, a Kickstarter campaign has been started to fund the game's development. Here is a quick overview that you can check out as you're watching the trailer during our video podcast. Oddventure is a JRPG where you play as Charlie, a nihilistic and rebellious teenage girl with anger issues and social awkwardness. You search for troublesome brother Bonzo, who is looking for a way back home. The setting for Charlie's misadventure is the Kingdom of Luxia, a land taken straight out of the original Grimm Brothers fairy tale with a dark twist. Here are the key features. Meaningful choices. Every decision matters, sometimes in the most unpredictable ways. It's a friendly JRPG where nobody has to die, but can in a horrible way, they say. Countless hidden secrets, references to pop culture and fairy tales. Bittersweet comedy mixed with some coziness and dark humor. Frog milk is the currency of the game. That's gross. And a life-changing gaming experience. I'm really excited about this game. Love Earthbound and welcome anything that uses that game as inspiration. And got a while to wait, though. That Q3 2022, that's when Eden Chronicles comes out as well. So that's shaping up to be a fun time. Yeah, that's, this year's been great. It's going to be still lots of things to come out for it. It looks like 2022 is shaping up to be pretty amazing as developers have had plenty of time to work on the next-gen consoles. Long-standing projects are finally going to get released, but I think next year is going to be pretty amazing. This one's been awesome, too, but we got a lot to look forward to. Final thing I want to talk about is an interview with Final Fantasy VII Remake co-directors Naoko Hagamuchi and Motomu Toyama. They discussed the role of Yuffie in the upcoming episode Intermission, including with the remastered release. And the first question was, why do you think Why do you think Yuffie is such a popular character? Toriyama's answer was, in the original Final Fantasy VII, Yuffie was the type of person who would appear whenever and wherever and whenever she pleased, and you never know whether or not she was going to join you. Even if she does join you, you could never let your guard down because you didn't know when she'd steal your materia. That makes her quite different from your other allies in the fight against Shinra and Sephiroth. She's always after materia, honest about her desires, and never afraid to show that. It's that combination of traits that leads to an unpredictable and unexpected twist. I think that's one of the reasons she becomes such a popular character. They ask, how does the Yuffie we meet in Remake differ from the original game? It's very much the same Yuffie, Toriyama answers, we all know and love that appears in Midgar. She's still elusive and still does things at her own pace, but she's also fired up by her desire to exact revenge for her homeland of Wutai and to execute her mission as a ninja. Hamaguchi adds, when I think about Yuffie, the first things that come to mind are a materialistic materia hunter who's not comfortable or proficient with vehicles. Materia is Yuffie's motivation, and I was mindful to bring that aspect of her personality to the forefront in every part of the new episode, from the story to even the mini-games. The next question is, oh no, does that mean she's going to steal our stuff in the new episode too? Toriyama laughs, says yes. In the original Final Fantasy VII, she caused quite the hassle because she stole her allies' materia. Don't worry, in the new episode, Yuffie's the protagonist, so rest assured, you won't have to worry about your valuable material again taken away. Hamaguchi adds, actually, we'll be introducing some new materia that wasn't introduced first in FF7 Remake. That's pretty exciting. Next question, Yuffie does sport a new look through her Moogle outfit. Why is she dressed like that in the new episode? Toriyama answers, actually, the Moogle hood draws reference to the time we used it in Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, and Yuffie wears it when she is on a covert mission. She might think she's perfectly disguised, but it actually makes her stand out even more in a metropolis like Midgar. I feel that's just, quote, very her, and probably why I like it so much. And then the last question is, so what can we expect from her in episode Intermission? And Hamaguchi answers, the new episode takes place at the same time Cloud and company are continuing their fight in Midgar. The story follows Yuffie on her mission as a ninja operative, tasked with stealing valuable materia from Shinra. Our goal was to present players with a story that leads up to Yuffie's later encounter with Cloud and his group. In addition, the new episode was a big opportunity to dig into the deeper lore of Final Fantasy VII. And he finally says, I would definitely encourage people who have played Remake to experience it when they complete the game. I think they'll really enjoy it. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated, including episode Intermission, is due out for PlayStation 5 on June 10th worldwide. So that's fun stuff. Love Yuffie, and I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to play as Yuffie. I think she has a really fun-looking play style that's going to be very different from some of the other players we've seen so far in Remake, and we got just over a month. So I'm going to have to buckle down and really find that PlayStation 5 or win the lottery of PS5, I guess is the better term for it. You had to be online at the right website at the right time. It is crazy times to try to find a console in 2021. So that's going to do it for episode 164, your JRPG Report. We'll be back next week with more fun news and things to chat about. My name is James Fisher, and thanks as always for checking us out. We'll see you guys again next week, but don't forget, get back out there and level up.